Wait, listen, it can be tough to build wealth in 2025, but don't let that frustration put you out of the driver's seat and sitting in the passenger seat and just be like, whatever happens, happens. No, you can actually direct where you and your money go in the future. So if you want to know what I mean by all of this, keep watching, because today we're going to talk about 5 of the most toxic and unhelpful lies that people believe when it comes to their financial situation. So let me know in the comments which ones really hit home for you, and make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. All right, lie number 1, you ready? Is my situation will never change. So sometimes if you are in a place in life where there doesn't feel like there's a lot of hope, and it's like, oh my gosh, like maybe it's a dead-end job you feel like you're in. Maybe you feel like financially you just haven't made any headwinds like in the last like few years, and you're just like sitting there thinking, this is how my life is going to be. I just want to encourage you, over time, life is going to change, and in a good way, right? So you have the ability to make decisions in your life. And so things like a job, for instance, maybe you stay in a job for a while and you do great and you keep getting promoted and you keep getting raises and your income slowly does go up over time. And so maybe that's a beautiful thing. Or maybe you end up quitting the job that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just so miserable here. And you go find something that you're actually really passionate about doing. Normally you will earn more money doing that thing that you're excited about. And so there's something about the income that does move over time. So feel hope in that. And then also know in your life, people and situations are going to change, and especially the people in your life. And that is where so many opportunities open up in life. And so whether that is deep friendships, maybe that's a romantic relationship, like whatever it may be from work and on, there's something about having people in your life that are different from season to season. It's a really beautiful thing that brings you different kinds of encouragement, brings you different opportunities even in life. And so remember, things in life are constantly shifting. So whether it's the job you have, it's the economy, the people in your life, things are going to change. So your life is not stuck where you are today. It will evolve over time. Lie number 2, my family just isn't rich or good with money. Listen, in Ramsey's national study of millionaires conducted a few years ago, we found that 79% of millionaires are first generation wealthy. Can you believe that? Okay, 8 out of 10, which is incredible, which shows you the majority of people that are wealthy in America today did not inherit their money. They did it by making wise decisions. And again, when I'm talking about wealth, I'm meaning that you have the ability to have $1 million net worth. I would consider that like doing real good. That can include equity in your home, retirement funds, all of that. But there's margin, there's breathing room. Like there's something beautiful about that. And that happens over decisions that are made month after month, year after year, decade after decade. It does not happen overnight, and it's not flashy and exciting. But let me tell you, the stability that can come with this idea of being in control of your money is a beautiful one. And you have the ability to make that decision. So regardless of what your parents have done or not done, you have the ability to make different decisions with your money today. All right, lie number 3 is I can't reach that goal until I'm married or have a spouse's income. So this is a real thing, because having 2 incomes in our world today mathematically advances you for sure, right? You're running a household. Now you have 2 people working. You get to work with 2 different incomes. Like you are going to probably build wealth faster. And studies do find married couples tend to build wealth faster. And that makes sense because there's 2 incomes usually coming in. We live in a world today where a 2-income household is very, very common. But what I want you to know is if you are single, if you don't have the 2 incomes, or even if you are married, but your spouse is at home and you just have that one, you still have the ability to build wealth. And there's really a beautiful thing, especially if you're single. You don't have someone else that could be like pulling you down, right? Like, I mean, we talk to a lot of people at Ramsey and their spouses are not on board. They're out spending and they're trying to like be wise with money. And like, it's just a hard thing to do catch up when both people are not on board. And so there's something about having this autonomy where I guess it's a good thing and a bad thing in a sense that like, it's all up to you. But that's the great thing is it's up to you, which is wonderful. Now, if you are married and you still have one income because one spouse is home, just know that it may take you a little bit longer, but that's a decision that you guys have made as a family. And that value system is what's going to bring a level of depth to your life because you're living out of your values, which is a really beautiful thing. So remember, whether you're single, just know, I know single people that are buying houses, they're paying off student loans, they're starting businesses, like they're doing incredible things. And so are people that are married that have one income. So don't just have this belief that we need two incomes to win. You don't. Money lie number 4 and 5 are some of the most important beliefs to untangle. But first, I have to tell you about a subscription service that completely untangled my personal info from creepy corners of the internet. You guys, you have to check out DeleteMe, because if you do not remove your personal data from the internet, it's basically like a billboard out there with your name, your address, your email, even your kids' names are out there. And sketchy data broker websites will collect your data, then they sell it to other sketchy companies, and then you're at risk for scams and fraud, and it is not fun. So the good news is that DeleteMe goes in and removes your data to help protect you from phishing, harassment, and other online threats. Winston and I, we use DeleteMe, and it saves us so much time and worry. So you guys, your family's safety and financial security are way too important to leave exposed. So sign up for DeleteMe and take control. Go to joindeleteme.com/Rachel for 20% off, bringing your monthly cost to under $9. So click the link in the description. All right, lie number 4 is, I'm not good with money because of my money tendencies. So I hear this a lot, that people have like these tendencies of like, I'm a spender, so I'm always going to be spending. Or maybe I don't like doing a budget and I feel tied down and I don't want to do a budget. Or maybe on the other end, people are like, oh my gosh, my money tendencies. I mean, maybe I'm a saver and I end up hoarding money because I don't want to spend it. And I'm actually more miserable doing this than feeling the freedom of not having all of this. Like, right. So I hear people from every level of different money tendencies. And let me just tell you, your unique money tendencies, yes, they are you. Okay. There's something wired within you that is beautiful and wonderful and great. And I want you to lean in those because those are who you are. But also they cannot be an excuse for you to be irresponsible with money. Okay. I think about the Enneagram. It's like one of my favorite kind of personality, I don't know. I don't even know what you call it, but it basically diagnosis is what it feels like. But people will take that as an excuse and they're like, sorry, I'm just so mean. I'm an Enneagram 8. And I'm like, no, you're just a jerk. It's not because you're an Enneagram 8 or like, I'm so late. I'm a 4, so I'm always just so late. No, like you have to be a responsible human being, right? So we cannot let it be an excuse. We have to see and correct as adults and be mature in social situations and in life. Like that is part of growing up. But also remember that uniqueness within you has its strengths. So leaning on those is great. But this whole like, I'm going to just surrender to the fact that I can never be great with money because my personality just doesn't lean to it, then you really are going to be miserable your whole life, because I think that mindset creeps into other areas where it ends up being an excuse. And so there is a part of like, hey, let's all be a grown up because I'm a spender. I'm a free spirit. I get it. Totally get it. But if I just spent and never took control of my money, I think I would be a ball of anxiety and stress. And I really think I can temper that down with having a level of a plan and control and saying no to myself when I need to. Like that is a healthy balance. So always remember, there's a healthy balance in all of the money tendencies. All right, lie number 5 is my money won't change until the economy does. So I've heard this one a lot. I mean, there's been, so much about inflation, interest rates are high, gas prices are high, grocery bills are high, housing is high. Like so much feels like a lot in the past few years, especially if you are even more of a Gen Zer and you're like entering the workforce and you're like trying to do this really well. And it's like everything is just so expensive. And it's easy to blame the economy on it because there's some truth to it, right? Like it is more expensive. But also if you sit back and let that excuse hold you back and causes you not to move forward and have any level of action, then you're going to be where you are. Okay. So there is something to be said of, yes, this is a truth. Things are more expensive than they were 3, 4, 5 years ago. And that sucks. Like, I don't like that. So what does that mean now for me? What do I have to do with that? And so maybe it is tempering expectations. Maybe it is, I'm gonna have to work a side hustle for a little bit to pay off this debt. Maybe it means, understanding that, okay, I'm gonna have to cut back on where I shop and I can't shop at the fancy organic grocery store. I have to, go somewhere that's less expensive, but still has great food, like Aldi, for instance, right? Like there are things that you have to make decisions about that counteract what's going on in the economy. But if you just sit there and stay in the excuse of, well, it's just the economy and that's what it is. And a lot of people are there because I scroll on Instagram reels and I see people that just sit there and complain about it. And I get it. It sucks. So I think acknowledging that, but also if you stay in that, you're not going to move forward. So you have to build a whole new set of different expectations and values around your money to counteract what's going on in the economy. And that's actually a really beautiful thing, because if you have that flexibility within you to make different decisions, and then let's say the economy's great and like inflation's really low and interest rates are really low and all this, then you're going to be like way ahead of the game, because I think you have tempered a really hard economy. And when it goes well, that's what's going to be magnified in you, which is a really beautiful thing. All right, listen, if you are fired up and ready to change, then there is a ways to do this, you guys. Okay, so a couple of things to think about. Number one, doing a budget. If you have not downloaded EveryDollar, it's a free budgeting app. It's amazing. So I'll put a link down below, but this is a way to really get in control of your money and start with some of these lives to kind of putting it on paper and actually seeing it visibly, like on your phone, and visually seeing what's going on with your money can actually combat some of those lies, because facts are your friends, especially if you feel like you're in a hopeless situation. Getting the facts is really, really important. And then also who you are around. Remember, the people around you and surrounding you and the voices that are speaking into your life are really, really important. So always remember that. And also, if you want to make sure that you're doing this the right way, make sure to check out the episode, The Worst Ways to Pay Off Debt, especially if you're paying off debt. Click here and I explain everything about it. Or if you're listening on podcast, I'll put a link below. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.